What's up everybody? Rare, not live video from the studio. In case you haven't seen my videos before, I'm wearing these gloves because when I'm in here I handle toxic chemicals and paint and stuff like that. Also it adds to my air of general mystique that I have painstakingly cultivated for many years, and also it's kind of aesthetic, so there's a few reasons. And you notice I'm holding this little device right here that you probably recognize. It's like a mock-up of like a Nintendo controller, I guess. And I got this for a few reasons. I realized I'm kind of like a workaholic and I'm literally just in here doing art and graphic design and all that stuff all the time, which is kind of cool. I'm not really complaining, but I was wondering if I should have some like non-productive hobby in my life, or is that a waste of time? I've been thinking philosophically about that a lot recently. So I picked this up. It was like 10 bucks and I was like, oh, maybe I'll, have some downtime and like play some old game on my computer or something like that. And I haven't done that yet. I haven't really had the time or the inclination, honestly. But I was looking at this today and I was thinking, this is basically just an input for the computer, right? Obviously I can just map on whatever controls that I want onto these little buttons right here. And I was wondering if I should see how hard I can go in Photoshop illustrating using just this little controller right here. And I thought it'd be kind of cool, so that's what I'm going to do right now. And as I was doing it, I was like, this is kind of cool actually. I should make a video. And that's what you're watching right now. So I'm not very fancy yet at all, so I'm going to shrink this little thing down right now. You're going to see the platform that I use to do videos in the background. It's called OBS because I'm not fancy yet, so hold on. You're seeing the infinite regression, epic Benoit Mandelbrot moment right now as I shrink this, and we're good. That should be small enough. And you can see right here I have this program called Anti-Micro. And basically what this does, it was free. I don't know why it's called Anti-Micro. Maybe micro, like micro game in video games. Not really sure. Anyway, so you can see that what this is for is it's for mapping any buttons or configuration onto something like this. So if I press a button, it lights up and I can basically map whatever I want onto this controller. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I actually already did the up and down axis. So you can see right here, boom, I got the mouse moving using just the D-pad, and I'm going to do the left and the right one right now. The thing is, so I think I have to go right here and do mouse horizontal, boom, perfect. Oh, it only goes, oh no, it goes both ways. So the thing is, in here, I have to change the settings. Now, the issue is that what I really wanted is I want the effect of like when I press it, that it starts slow and then accelerates, which you think would be pretty easy, but actually not really, because all these different settings are kind of imagining that I'm holding a joystick, I guess. So the D-pad is binary. It's either on or it's off. So either I'm pushing the mouse all the way or I'm not. And there's no way to get around that at all. So you can see here it says like delta acceleration and has all these crazy settings, but it didn't really matter to me. I changed them all and nothing happened at all anywhere. The best I got was I changed this one to something called easing cubic, and I changed this to ease out cubic, but it still didn't really matter. So I think I'm just going to lower the minimum settings as low as I can, and I'm just going to say let's just roll with it. Let's just do it up. So now I can move the mouse using just the D-pad. Pretty cool. The more interesting thing is what I'm going to do with all these buttons right over here. So let's start with the A button over here. I'm thinking pretty obviously for the A button, I'm going to have that be clicking so I can draw by pressing and holding the A button. X button up here, I'm going to make that the brush trigger in Photoshop. So I'll press that, it'll access the brush, and then I can draw with that. Y button, I'm going to make this fill. I feel like that's a good call, so I can fill in like large areas. And down over here, the B button, I'm going to make that Z for zoom. And that's already going to give me an idea for kind of a trick I can pull off, because I only have, what, like 8 buttons here or something? So if I make this back button over here, the left trigger, if I make this control, that might let me do some fancy stuff, because then I have like a modifier, like I'm holding down Control Z, I can do edit undo that way. For this trigger, the right trigger, I'm going to make that right click. And that's also going to give me a few options. I can change the size of the brush, and maybe I can do some other kind of stuff later. Then I have these two buttons in the middle. What I'm thinking is that I'm going to need some way to move around. So I'm going to make the start button H, that accesses the hand tool in Photoshop, so I can move and pan stuff around. I'll explain all this stuff if you have no idea what I'm talking about right now. And the select button, I think that I'm going to need the eyedropper tool. In Photoshop, so it's an eye, the bound key. The eyedropper tool, what it does is like it samples out colors. You'll see what I mean in a second. And that's all the buttons. So we should be good. I'm going to open up Photoshop. I got it going right here. And I'm actually really quickly, I know the infinite regression thing is kind of weird unless you have like a fractal fetish, but I am going to just make sure that the screen is in a good spot. Last time when I tested this, the little window where you can see my hands was like over the image, and then that's like really stupid, right? I'm actually gonna make it a little bit smaller, just in case something like that happens. You don't really need to see my hands that badly. I'm sure you trust that I'm doing this with the controller. All right, cool. So we should be good to go in here. I can move the mouse around. That's pretty tight. I am gonna open up the color palette. So I'm gonna have the color palette pretty big over here. I'm not gonna use layers or anything like that. I feel like that's kind of like, not cheating, but I don't wanna use the mouse at all. I wanna do it 100% here. And if I'm just moving the mouse and clicking it around, it's kind of like, what's the whole point of this anyway? Okay, so I got the color thing going on. I'm gonna actually also make this full screen except for the color window. And we should be good. Now here's the question. What I'm really going for is I want to try and make this kind of like sophisticated looking. I kind of want it to not look like it was made with like a D-pad. But also the thing is, it's kind of a thing in art that whatever materials you're using, they affect the like creative process in kind of an interesting way. So if you're doing etching or woodblock printing or something like that, engaging with like the limitations of the materials kind of makes the picture more interesting. The analogy I use is it's kind of like, you know, imagine you have a synthesizer where you can do literally anything, make any sound, any volume, anything like that, versus some guy in like an alley who has like, you know, a really crappy like you know, mandolin or something like that. The guy playing the mandolin is forced to like engage with the limitations of his materials a little bit more. That's like a principle in art and illustration and stuff and fine art. So this is a pretty absurd manifestation of that, where I'm going to engage with the limitations of using a Super Nintendo controller to do Photoshop stuff. Now I threw down this black background because I wanted to look kind of sophisticated. Sophisticated, black, light lines on a dark background always look better than dark lines on a light background. It kind of gives you that like sophisticated flavor. Nice, and I'm able to draw straight up on this thing right here. So, and let's see, can I do Control Z? Oh, boom, perfect. So I'm just gonna kind of move around a little bit here, and let's see, how easy can I zoom in? Oh, pretty easy actually, cool. Access the hand tool, we're gonna move this, perfect. So, I'm gonna throw down the crosshair though. The crosshair is a little bit more aesthetic than the circle. So let's see, I wanna see how well I can hit the curves. It's kind of like I can almost hit them, I can almost get a gradient going. I mean, like in terms of the slope, but I really can't actually. So I might have to accept that I'm working with the limits of slightly geometric lines. It's kind of confusing because you can see over here I can almost get like a little bit of wiggliness, but not really. Let's see, how much can I really can't get the gradient at all. But look, this line up here, I did get a little bit of that slope. How did I do that? Let's see, can I come down? Can I just get a little bit of it? Not really. All right, well, we'll make it work. So first thing I want to do, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Oh, I can even pan like that. That is sick. Okay, so I want to see what I can do in terms of drawing just in general. And I kind of want to do this quickly because I think we'll kind of engage with these controls and then I'll see, you know, I want to mix it up a little bit. What I'm thinking is that what's about to happen right now as I'm drawing, it's going to kind of be very like controlled. You know, there's no element of like chaos or anything like that. But what I want to do is I'll make this drawing really quick, see how it turns out. And then maybe I can bind some of the controls to some other things that'll introduce an element of like randomness and variability into the process. But let's just go for it first. So I'm going to try and draw a girl. So I'm a guy. That's what I like to draw sometimes. And I'm going to throw down, let's see, a little sweeping bit of her hair. Let's see, do I want to zoom in for every little piece? I kind of do actually. So let's see, I'm going to try and throw down her ear right over here. Ugh, that's horrible. Let's see, maybe I'll have to get used to using this thing. Oh, that's pretty good actually. I was going to give her like an ear cuff up over here, but I'm not going to push my luck. I give her a little earlobe, and then since I paused right there, I'm going to draw in an earring. And I'm wondering how much I should like lean into or lean out of the geometric nature of the lines I'm getting. I could just like embrace it and only make these lines that are like right angles and 45-degree angles, but I'm kind of fighting it, to be honest with you. I don't want to commit to like that hardcore techno look, but that might just be something I have to accept. And boom, that was pretty good actually. I got a little earring right there. I'm gonna throw down a little, it's pretty good actually. I don't know, should I accept that? Yeah, I'll take that for sure. I'll take that for sure. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. I'm going to come up here and I'm gonna draw in the other, I'm already kind of getting used to the controls. I want to kind of like Alphonse Mucha style, have this part of her hair coming down and out, and then maybe we'll just get a little, that's pretty good actually. I'll accept it. We'll just kind of take a stab at this and see how it goes. And I'm gonna come down, whoa, okay. So I'm gonna zoom in, and I'm gonna come down over here. I wanna make the front of her face, that's pretty good actually. Come down to her chin and come up. A little bit of a wider face than I wanted her to have, but you know what, we're gonna roll with it. We're just gonna roll with that. We're gonna throw down the eyes. That is a huge decision, how we wanna do that. Do I wanna just put in the dot eyes? So I can right click with the right trigger and adjust to the size, and let's see. No, we do not want that. That is not the vibe. We'll make it a little bit thinner, and I'm gonna use a little bit of a trick. We're just gonna go with the line eyes. We're just gonna go with the line eyes. You can get away with a lot with that. Kinda will give us that look that we're going for. I'm gonna throw down the nose, but I'm gonna make it a little bit thinner. Drawing woman's nose, you don't wanna put too much emphasis on it. That's an illustration trick. Okay, we'll take that also. Let's see, how do I get out of there? Perfect. And do I want to put in the mouth? Maybe I don't. I feel like I kind of have to because I made her face so wide. I could go for like a classic maneuver and like put something here instead of a straight up mouth, but I don't know. Let's see, can we get the nice mouth in? I probably can't. Actually, no, that was almost tight, but not really. I like to get this little dip in here. We're gonna go full robot if we go with the straight line mouth, but maybe that's okay. It's kind of tight. It's kind of tight. I don't know. I'm kind of okay with it. Let's just roll with it. This is like the test one. I'm gonna put the size back up a little bit. Perfect. And let's see, can I just draw in her hair? We're not really doing so hot right now. Let's see, I'm gonna try and come up again. It's like almost dope. I'm almost like getting the feel and look that I want, but also I'm like miles and miles and miles away. So stick with me for this one, and then we'll see how we want to play the next situation. I'm gonna come down with her neck. Do I like that slope of that shoulder? It's really just a big leap for me to, you know, see like, do we want that? Like then she has these like crazy man shoulders. Maybe a human is not really the way to go. I'm pretty confident that we can make something sick if we went full geometric, but you know, it's just not my inclination. My inclination is kind of like to push things a little bit. So I thought I would start with this, and let's just roll with that. And then for the neck, I'm gonna make it a little too thin because we made her face too wide. Kind of balance out. No, that's not good. Let's see. It looks a little bit too like comic-y. I'm trying to go for like a fine art vibe, as absurd as that sounds. So let's just, yeah, we'll kind of embrace the wideness that we have going on here. Maybe it's like a woman wearing like a dress or something like that. That's a lot better. And let's throw down the top of the dress over here. Boom. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. I'm gonna put in like the pit of her neck down here. Actually, I'm gonna put in like a necklace. I think that's probably the way to go. And since we have this like long line of her neck, do I want to embrace that like messy line quality? I don't know. I'm really going for like the look of like, if someone knew that I made it with a controller, they would probably be surprised. So we can accept that. And then I'm gonna throw down like a jewel or something on her necklace. So I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna grab this red, and I got the eyedropper tool so that later I can just grab these colors. Okay, I'm gonna make this really big. Let's see, how big is that? That's perfect. We're just gonna kind of throw it down. No, not like that. Like that is perfect. Cool. So now I have the eyedropper tool, so I can zoom in, I can click it on, I can grab the white, and I can zoom back out, and now I have the white again. That's perfect. Ooh, fit on screen. That's kind of a good option for right now. Cool. And way too thick, so I have to, well, it's really cool actually. I'm getting a hand of the controls really quickly. And yeah, what I'm thinking is exactly what I said in the beginning. Like, actually that's kind of hot with the hair coming off like that. Let's see. I'm just gonna come out with the 45-degree angle line. Ah, but it can't line up with the edge of the shoulder. That's called a tangent. You really don't want that. We can accept that. So yeah, what I'm thinking is, I was pretty sure, you know, I draw a lot, that I could make some, I could draw something, you know what I mean, that looks like something using these controls, but I want to make it look really dope. So what I'm thinking is, we'll do this picture. I was kind of feeling the hair like that, but not really now. Let's see, can I get right on the line? Perfect. And then let's see, can we get the lines in her hair too? Let's see if we can get it going. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, I was confident I'd be able to draw something with this, but what I'm thinking is that the gradient tool is really going to be the trick. That's really going to be where it kicks into high gear. Because with the gradients, I can start dropping other effects in. So we'll round this one out. I'm not going to even really finish it. We'll just kind of wrap up this picture of this girl here. Come on. I want to land right there. Boom. Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay. And then let's just see. If I'm going to do the fill tool in the back, that means I have to close off these little gaps right here. So I thought that I'd get kind of like a wind look in the background with her hair, but didn't really happen. Boom. Okay, so something is open. It's right over here. This little gap at the bottom is open. Okay. Let's see, can we drop the fill in now? Yeah, we can. Okay. And just for fun, I want to see, I'm going to grab the black. Let's see, I'm going to put like kind of like a little bit of a situation in the background. I know I put cities in the background of like everything I draw, but you know, with the cardinal directions only angle on the controller, come on, you think I'm not going to put a city back here? Come on. Okay, this is a pretty good test, and it confirmed what I thought, which is that we need the gradient tool to add a little bit of chaos into what we're doing, to add an element of complexity. So I'm going to round this out. Let's not accept that. We'll make it look good. Okay. And I thought this would be kind of cool also because, I don't know, something about like the, damn it, I'm going to try it one more time with the window. About the video game controller thing kind of like just intrigued me. I think I have like a really love-hate relationship with video games. I mean, like, oh my god, this freaking window. Let's try one more time. It's like I can't get it to just, okay, we'll accept that. And I'm gonna, should I fill it in black? I don't want it to compete too much with her. I'm just gonna grab a yellow over here. So yeah, I've kind of like a love-hate relationship with video games. I'm obviously a guy that grew up, and you know, it's 2020 now, so I have obviously played video games extensively, and it's a huge way I bond with like other guys because we are all emotionally stunted from electro-modernity. But I don't know, there's something about it. It's kind of like a weird, it almost forms like its own like mythology in a way. Like we all have this like shared catalog of like games and stuff like that that we all like grew up with, and I don't know, it's something kind of weird and interesting about it. I don't really know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. Like I said, I have kind of like a love-hate relationship with it. And we'll throw down the rest of the horizon over here. Maybe I can get like a road going on. That looks kind of cool. And can I have like the fully isometric? No, it's too whack. Can I get just a little bit of the road perspective in here? Just like, whoa, boom. No, we'll just leave it like that. And I'll put in something else here just to wrap up this picture. I'm gonna throw in down a little street light right now. So we'll throw down a little street light. Cool. And let's see, we'll make it kind of like simplified. That's pretty good actually. I'm actually kind of impressed that I landed that. And we'll throw down this light. And let's see, I want to get the light coming out of the street light, so I'm actually just going to lower the size a little bit. Man, I really hate that 45-degree angle, but we're just gonna roll with it. And I'll come down over here. I'm gonna zoom out. Nice, I really got the hang of the controls a lot faster than I thought I would. That's sick. I can grab the yellow, come over, boom. Oh no, but that will be cool later. Zoom in, and boom. All right, cool. Now I'm gonna do something a little that I think will help pump the sophisticated look of it. Not that this is gonna give us the final look that we want, but we're kind of just using this as like a test run right now. I'm going to drop a little kind of like opacity thing over here. So I took a gray yellow and made it where the light and the street light overlap, and now I'm just going to drop a straight gray. So it's going to give us, yeah, it's perfect. It's the exact effect that I wanted. So let's see, how's it looking? How's it looking? It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. I could have not given her a mouth and pushed the kind of like deep, weird nature of it, but I'm kind of cool with it. Oh, actually, let's do one last thing. Wait, where's the color selection tool? Oh, here. And then I got the brush, and I'm gonna throw down a really fat sun in the sky. Is that fat enough? Yeah, it's kind of fat enough. And I'll have it line up with her necklace over here. So, boom. And let's see, should I get the gray from over here and put it in the city? Let's see, let's find out. I don't know. It's kind of tighter without that, but it kind of balances out the picture a little bit. Let's just roll with it. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Oh, yo, you know what else I could do? I could actually, there's like a million little things I could do. I'm gonna stop now. Let's just leave it like this. This looks pretty tight. Okay, so that was a good kind of test run, but what I'm thinking is that I really want the gradient tool because that will allow me to start doing some kind of like more sophisticated stuff. The only thing is, in Photoshop, if you're familiar with Photoshop over here on the left, if you can't see it, it doesn't matter. I'm just clicking this one button. But the point is that the gradient tool is the same bound key as the paint bucket tool. And I'm sure I could, oh, keyboard shortcuts? Did I really just figure that out? Oh man, I'm like right on the edge of like, should I try and figure this out right now live? Maybe I should, because I feel like it's right here. I feel like it's right here. Perfect. Okay, so I'll make the gradient a different key. What's a key I don't use in Photoshop ever? It's really hard to imagine, actually. I don't think I use P for anything. Just make it P. Okay, let's see if that worked. So now if I do P, I got the gradient. If I do G, I got the paint bucket tool. Perfect. Wow, I'm stoked that just worked out. So here's the question though. What key am I gonna get rid of? I'm gonna reopen up my little program over here. So let's see, let's just go over it really quick. Clicking, I obviously need brush tool. I obviously need zooming. I guess technically I could get away without zooming. I'd rather not, but I guess technically I could, which is kind of interesting. G gives us the fill tool. I mean, do we need that? Not really, but it's kind of tight to have. I mean, we need it if we want to fill colors in. If I lose the fill tool, then I'm going to be playing with like a very particular aesthetic, and I don't know if I want to be caged in like that, but we'll see. That means I can't fill in any areas like the background like I just showed you. Hand tool, well, that's interesting too, because if we lose the zoom key, then we don't need the hand tool, but I don't know, I feel like we do need that actually. And what was this? The eyedropper tool? We definitely need that. Control, well, if we lose Z, we can make this Control Z, and what's this? Right click? Yeah, we absolutely need that. All right, so let's just try it this way. Let's get rid of, we're gonna get rid of zoom. I guess we're not gonna zoom in. It's kind of plausible, I guess. And what key did I make it? I made it P. Perfect. Okay, so now this is the fill tool, and the B button is the gradient tool. Let's see how that goes. So now we can't zoom in or zoom out, which means that I guess I can cheat a little bit with the keyboard and get us started on the flat screen, just like that, and we'll make it a little bit bigger. We actually don't need this, so I'm just gonna, how do I get rid of this shit? It's good enough. Okay, and part of the reason why I wanted to do the gradient tool is so I could do stuff like this. So let's see. Oh man, but I kind of need the layers tool. That's interesting. Is there a button I can bind to create a new layer? Because look, this is what I'm thinking right now. With this setup, I can do this. So I can take a color, let's say I take the yellow, I can kick on the gradient tool, I can do this, and whoa, that is not what I wanted to do, although it does look kind of cool. Oh shit, I can't press Control Z anymore either. Wow, I can't do Control Z. That's insane. That means I can't undo anything. All right, that's not really feasible. Oh, well, I'll bind the left button to Control Z. So I wanted to do this. So now I have the gradient tool accessed, and I can click and get it going. Boom. And then I can do this. I can right click. Oh no. Maybe I can't do what I thought I could do here. I can select other gradients. That's kind of cool. Oh, perfect. I don't know how I did that. I selected, what key is this? The paint bucket tool. Perfect. So I can go here. Perfect. And I can select different ways that the gradient will, oh wait, maybe I don't need the new layer tool. Here, hold on. Thank you for sticking with me here. Let's see. So I have the gradient tool selected. Well, it's interesting actually, because when I select the paint bucket tool and I right click, this is the real, here, I'll show you guys what I was thinking, just so people aren't like, what the hell is this guy talking about? So look, you can change the way that different layers interact with each other in Photoshop. So I have the yellow gradient on a layer above the other gradient, the whole picture. And what I was thinking is, yeah, you can see here, I can go through and kind of like select all these different ways that the gradient interacts with the layer below it. And I thought that would give me like a layer of complexity that I could mess with. But the problem is, I don't know if I could bind this to like one key. It's really the issue, honestly. I'm kind of intrigued because you can see here when I select the paint bucket tool and I right click, I can go in and it's just doing, oh yeah, interesting. So I can't fucking control, I can't edit undo. So yeah, I can go in and change how the paint bucket tool fills things in. I can do this. So look, I can take the yellow layer, select the paint bucket tool, and I can select the option difference. That basically maps like the difference between the two colors. So for example, if I fill in her dress as yellow, it'll just be yellow because it's black. The difference between black and yellow is nothing, it's just yellow. But if I come over here to the red and I fill it in, it'll give us green. It's not like it's like a mathematical difference. It's not like a color variational difference. So I can't really do what I wanted there. I guess I could just try working with the gradient tool, but I was really hoping that by messing with these options, I would be able to get a layer of complexity that I wouldn't be able to get otherwise. But I guess I could just deal with it and stop complaining about what can never be. So let's try a new one. Let's try a new one over here. I'm going to throw down the black. Just trying to see if there's some other, let's see if there's some other way I could introduce like that type of complexity that I'm after. I could, it's interesting. So I could beforehand with the gradient tool, I could select one mode. Let's do that. That's a pretty good compromise actually. So I can select one of those modes that I just mentioned. So let's see, we got dissolve. That's pretty cool, but it pushes us into like MS Paint World a little bit. Darken, yeah, darken's kind of cool, but not really. Multiply, that just basically makes it so it shines through on the lighter colors. You can see the lines of her dress are yellow now. Color burn, yeah, that's a pretty good one. It's not going to matter though. I want something that's really going to like change it up and hopefully give us some other colors, because then I can dig in and like sample out those colors. Vivid light is pretty cool. It's a pretty sophisticated one. You're kind of getting a good look there already. Maybe we'll pick vivid light. Let's see, difference. Difference is cool, but then it's giving us like kid messing around in Microsoft Paint World, but it actually is kind of cool. Divide, hue, yeah, hue, that makes it the hue of it, that makes it the color of it. Saturation, that affects the saturation of it. Color, luminosity, those are all whack. Okay, so we're gonna pick vivid light. So let's do it this way. We're gonna start over. Got the black. I'm going to select the gradient tool, and we're gonna make it vivid light. So let's see how that would work. I'm gonna draw, let's see, I'm gonna close up the little layers window because we don't need it. I'm going to draw a little kind of like winged, some kind of angel or something. Let's do something like that. So let's see how that goes. And I have to, wait, really quick, I have to go back into, where is anti-micro? I don't see it, where is it? Where is it? It minimized and it went away because it's right here, perfect. Okay, we still have the right keys bound, perfect. So I have to make the left trigger Control Z. Can I do that? Can I just hold it down and make it Control Z? No, it just says Z. There's got to be a way to make it more than one button. I mean, come on. For real? There's really no way to do that? That's insane. There's got to be some way. Turbo, set selector, assignments. You can't make it both? You got to be able to make it both. Clear all. First one is Control, and the second one is Z. Close, close. Control Z. And let's just see if that works really quick. Boom. Oh, well, we can see. Perfect. Okay. Let's try this again. Round. Whoa, that is not what I want. That is, wow. That is not what I want. Oh, crazy things are happening here. I'm just gonna fix that really quick. That's my least favorite key to accidentally hit in Photoshop. I hate that shit. Okay, reset. Yes, we got it. Perfect. We don't want this tool. We literally just don't want this tool. Stop. Great. And we'll move this over here. All right, let's get this going again. Get the color thing out. Perfect. All right. So let's see. I'm going to draw something else right now. Let's see. I think this one we can maybe push it a little bit. I'm going to draw, I'll draw like a weird angel or something. That's kind of cool, right? Let's see. So I'm going to come over here. I feel like I got to start with the white lines. But let's see. I mean, selecting what I'm going to draw is kind of like the most important part. What do I think I could really get away with here? What do I think I could really get away with making with lines like this? I guess I could do kind of like a landscape. I mean, is that like that exciting? Let's just go for it. I'm going to make it smaller. That's a good size. Perfect. So let's see. I'm going to throw down like an eye or something like that. Oh man, that's pretty bad. Why does that keep happening? Boom. And okay, I'm gonna kind of like, I have to kind of like accept what the D-pad's giving me, which is really interesting. Maybe, I keep pressing the Control P and it's giving me printing, because I used to have that map to Control Z. Okay, so I have to pick something that I'm gonna draw where like the strangeness of the lines isn't going to make it look ridiculous, because if I'm making like an eye and it's not totally perfect, if I keep pressing Control B, it's going to look stupid. So let's see, what like organic item will let us have that wiggle room? You know what I'm talking about? Maybe like a rose or something? Let's see. Or maybe I should just lean into the techno aspect of it. Maybe I should just make some kind of like vaporwave, like city scene. I mean, I guess I'm fighting the fact that that's obviously what I should do, right? Let's do that. So I'm going to throw down a line right here. We'll go kind of light for this first one. And I'm going to put in some kind of like city in the distance over here. I'm just going to kind of let some of the mistakes happen because I just want to get going and see what we can get happening with the colors and stuff like that. It's kind of a double-edged sword because on the one hand, like, oh shit, I don't want to waste time like making sure every little thing is perfect, but on the other hand, those little things are kind of what adds up to make the picture look really dope. Like if some of the lines don't meet up, that's like what your eye kind of picks up on and you're like, oh, this is whack. So I'm actually, maybe I just won't even put in any windows. Maybe I'll just, again, kind of like lean into what the controller can and can't do. I'll just have these kind of like weird buildings. It's pretty cool. And then over here, let's get a road kind of like coming out of the city. Too close. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we can accept that kind of like weird perspective. Could I draw a palm tree? Let's see. Could I make that happen? Well, I'll make it perfectly straight. I mean, yeah, I guess I am kind of just leaning into, damn, that's pretty good, the nature of the tools, like I said. Ooh, perfect. Okay. Pushing it a little bit there, but it's okay. Alright, and man, that last line was really not that great. I don't know, it's kind of cool though, actually, except for this one little part right here that kind of sucks. But maybe I can fix it. I will come in with the mouse, make this a little bigger, and let's start dropping down the gradients, because I think that's what's going to make this visually interesting instead of like me just basically doing Mario Paint in 2020 with like a USB controller, and I think that'll kind of add the Photoshop element that I'm looking for. So let's see, I'm going to fix that line. Boom, boom. Oh, the same exact thing happened. Let's try again. Boom. See, I can't zoom, so I'm wondering, is it a mistake that I can't zoom anymore? Let's see. All right, we'll accept that. And I'm going to drop a sun in too. That's the last thing I'm going to drop in. Because once I start throwing down the gradients, okay, I guess we're not going to throw down a sun. I guess I'm kind of figuring out what works and what doesn't. So let's see. Let's just lean into the techno aspect, like I said, and I'll throw down some pink. Maybe I'll regret it, maybe I won't. So I chose vivid light, but let's see. Oh wait, it's just filling it in. So what happens if I just throw down the pink vivid light? It just makes it blue down there. Just kind of makes the whole thing blue. It's really interesting. What if I just bring the gradient over the whole thing? I wonder why it's doing that. Oh, I have it set to difference. It's really funny. But maybe I should have it set to difference. Let's see what vivid light does really quick. Kind of, it's not really giving me that gradient effect. It's almost just like an instant gradient. I don't know why it's like that. It's really interesting. So maybe the layer, it interacts differently when it's happening on the same layer, like I'm trying to do it. So let's see what I can make happen. Okay, the gradient does nothing when it's set to divide. What happens in difference? I'm using the mouse right now, so I guess that's cheating. Maybe I will roll with difference and we'll see if we can make it look not like a little kid made it. That would be the goal there, I guess. But vivid light, it's not really happening. All right, let's do difference. Let's see how it goes. Difference, okay, and I do have the option of lowering the opacity, but the thing is, once I go in with the controller, I theoretically won't be able to change it, but I feel like it'll look more sophisticated. So let's take it down to like 40% opacity. Yeah, okay, let's roll with it. Let's see how it goes. So now we're back in controller land. And if I wanted to grab it down here, throw down the gradient. Okay, that's interesting. And what if I do it again? Will it stack over itself? Let's find out. Oh man, that's crazy actually. So the difference, it makes a difference again. It takes the difference from between the two. So actually I could kind of get like a glow. Oh, and it goes back again. Okay, so we actually could get something kind of cool going on here. Let's throw down a purple glow coming out of the horizon. That's dope. And then I'm going to use the difference function to, yeah, make it like it's coming off the horizon. Okay, nice. Now we're talking here. I'm going to come over here. And I'm wondering if I should change the opacity of my brushes, because that could also help me get that like look that I'm going for. Because right now, yeah, it's going to be like totally flat. It's going to be like the fat well, it's gonna be like the fat, just the brush stroke, you know, just like that. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but let's see. We'll just throw them down anyway. Because I could take this in a totally different direction, which is actually what I'm thinking right now, which is you would expect this to be very like liney and techno-y, but maybe if I take it in like a painterly direction, that'll give me the kind of like unexpected flavor that I'm really looking for. So I might try doing that. Let's see. So I throw on some windows here. I'm gonna come up here, we're gonna grab some white, and we are going to make them kind of tiny. Put some stars down here. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool, but we're still playing in like, yeah, it looks like it was done in like a, you know, it looks like it was made with like a weird little joystick like this. All right, it's kind of dope. It's kind of dope, but not really. I'm gonna do what I just said, actually. I think that's gonna be the key and take it into painterly world. So that's gonna involve me just changing up a few things right now. And I actually think this is gonna be sick. So I'm gonna throw down the black. I'm gonna select the paintbrush tool, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna go on to another layer above it. And what I can do is, so let's see, I'm gonna make a line right here. Well, we'll make it thicker than that. So in Photoshop, what I can do is I can set it so that basically the layers that I'm using, when I make marks on those layers, they're kind of like neoned out, that they have like a neon kind of like glow to them. And I think that might give me the effect that I'm looking for. The thing is, I'm gonna have to like kind of, I'm either gonna have to commit to one glow color or make it white. It's kind of hotter if it's like a particular color, but then I'm chained to working within that palette. But actually, it's not that big a deal. You can see the white, it's not really giving us that like effect that we want, to be honest with you. So I'm going to change it actually to blue, and we'll just work with this kind of like techno blue glow. I think that's going to be the move. It's going to look a lot better. Yeah, look how much better that looks already. And let's lean into the glow. I mean, we came all the way here. Normally what I would do is kind of like a secret, I guess, but not really a secret, but normally what I would do is I would make one fat kind of wide glow and one tight kind of bright glow, and that gives me like the neon effect that I want. But here I'm going to land somewhere in the middle. No noise. That, it's almost like too much there. Maybe if I lower the opacity though. It's kind of the same shit. I'm just kind of splitting the difference. Okay, let's not make it too much. I think that is going to be the way to go. And then that's cool because you can see I'm using the mouse right now, but it kind of will like glow, and I can use a few different, oh man, I just undid it. Oh, I can just redo it. Edit, redo. Okay, cool. And I'm going to erase this, and then I think that's going to be kind of like the secret. And I'm actually going to also do something that, I don't know. Part of me feels like I shouldn't, but I'm going to anyway. I'm going to lower the opacity. I'm going to lower the opacity to 75%. And that's going to give me some room to paint a little bit instead of just straight up drawing. And maybe it'll look horrible, but let's see. So now I got that going. I'm going to select this. I'm going to make the brush really big. But do I have it at the opacity? Yeah, I do. But we need to turn the opacity down a little bit more. You could see, right? You can see here, it overlaps a little bit right here, but we actually want that effect to be more. So we're actually going to take it all the way down to 50. And let's see how that works for us. The way this opacity thing works in Photoshop is you can see here, so I can lay down like a fat area of color, and it never overlaps. So look, when I come back up here, it's like the same stroke. It's not overlapping. But if I stop and then I take another one, now it's overlapping. And then actually it'll overlap again, and I could kind of build up like areas of color like that. But I guess if that's really what I'm going for, then I should make it even lower than that. But I don't know. I'm just gonna quickly delete all this. I'll make it a little bit lower, and then we'll jump in. Do some kind of like neon painting with the controller right here. Take it down to 25. Am I really gonna work at 25% opacity? Actually, it looks pretty dope. And then what, I can like build up like that? Yeah, this is perfect. All right, let's do it. The time is now. Okay. And I guess I could have picked red, but I'm not really going to second guess myself right now. I'm actually going to pick a brighter blue. Go with kind of that cool flavor. Maybe I picked a cool color because it's really, really, really hot out right now. Okay. Cool. This looks dope. And then I can build up, like I said. Cool. Okay, how do I want to play this though? Let's do something similar to how we started. I mean, a woman is kind of like the preeminent symbol for beautiful art. But if I'm working at this low of an opacity, I kind of have to like paint it. I can't draw it. I kind of have to paint it. Let's see how this goes. So I'm gonna have to use a way fatter brush. I'm gonna go way fatter than that even. Okay. Okay, let's see how this is gonna work right now. Do I want to go full on like shadow shapes, like I'm really like actually painting? Let's see. Because then we do have I have a lot less wiggle room if I'm like painting. The difference between drawing and painting to me, by the way, like when I'm saying painting versus drawing, is that with drawing you are using lines to communicate information to the viewer, but with painting you're using large areas of dark and light to communicate visual information to the viewer. So if I go this route where I'm kind of like painting in like the shadow shapes and stuff like that, it's like I have less wiggle room for things not to look like, frankly, like kind of like ridiculous. Like with the lines, you can kind of get someone and be like, oh, it's like a cartoon, or like, oh, you know, it's meant to look that way. But with the shadow shapes, you don't really have that wiggle room. Kind of has to look good. So let's see. So if this were someone's face, maybe it won't be a woman, maybe it'll just be kind of like a guy's face, or like some kind of like robot-y face or something. I'm not really going to chain myself to one way or the other right now. And let's see, just throw in the light area here. So you can kind of see it's almost like starting to look like someone's face, and then what I'll do is I can come back in. That's kind of the advantage of the opacity, and pick up these brighter areas. So what, I get like 4 clicks because it's 25% opacity? Actually it goes more than that even. It's kind of a sloppy look though, honestly. Let's see if we like it though. I feel like I'm using some like 80s tech right now. I mean, of course the look is like kind of 80s, but I feel like I'm using some like 80s tech right now. Let's see, do I want to throw this down up here? Maybe? I don't know. Kind of torn about how this looks right now, but let's see. We'll keep it going for the sake of keeping it going. So let me get their mouth, put like kind of the light of the chin. We got like a very robot look going on. I mean, that shouldn't really surprise anyone. And then here's what I'm thinking. It's kind of interesting, I guess. I can take the black. The cool, maybe it won't be cool, but the interesting thing is that the black itself even is going to have the blue glow around it. So that's kind of whack. So I really can't actually put in the black. That's kind of unexpected. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, the gradients. Maybe that's the answer I'm looking for. So let's see. I guess the painting is not really the move, to be honest with you. It's not really happening. Let's see. I'm going to throw down this pink gradient and we'll see how it goes. Because it's set to difference, right? That's actually kind of dope now. Interesting. And let's see, how dark of a blue can I get away with the glow? Painting. It's kind of dope, actually, and you can't even really see the glow on the dark color down there. So let's see, what if I put a star up here? It's pretty cool, actually. But I don't want it to be that big. I want it to be a lot smaller. Okay, oh yeah, it's low opacity, so I have to click a bunch of times. And we kind of lost the glow. That's really weird. You can't see the glow on the white speck, right? What's up with that? You can only see the glow when it's moving? It's kind of weird. Maybe it's because of how it does it, or whatever. So maybe I will put a little horizontal line through. It's kind of dope, actually. Cool. Oh, maybe I'll make it a plus. We'll get the full kind of like... Yeah. Yeah, kind of looks like a flower now. We'll stick with the horizontal line. Okay, this really picked up. What happens if I come down here with the black? Yeah. Oh man, so we can get the drawing and the painting together in one situation. This actually just got really tight. Okay. I'm gonna grab this color. Let's make it even darker. Let's see if we can get like a road leading up to him. This kind of robot techno face we have in the sky. Yeah, I'll take that for sure. Let's see over here. Boom. Yeah, it's kind of sick actually. And then let's not press our luck. Let's just grab the same black over here. And we'll put in, it's like he's between these two cities maybe. This actually looks like something from like a 80s, like a Sega game or something. It's actually pretty sick. Okay, I'll come over here. Okay. Interesting. And can we come in with white? I mean, I know we're working at like 25% opacity, so can we come in with the white and maybe tighten up? Whoa. How this guy looks around. Oh, pressing every freaking button. Okay, brush. Here we go. Perfect. How this guy looks over here. We want it to be way thicker than that. Wow. Okay. Brush button. Right click. We're going to make it way bigger. I could adjust the opacity. I mean, the hardness. You can make the brushes kind of like fuzzy, but I'm not going to do that. All right. We'll clean it up a little bit. Kind of throw down these brighter areas of white. And what we really need to do is get those eyes. The eyes, I mean, now that you're kind of reading them as eyes just because of your mind's like propensity to read like faces into everything, but they don't really look like eyes. That was kind of whack what I just did. Boom, boom. I want it to be a little bigger. Those are kind of like the fat eyelids, and then we'll get like this area over here. What I think is really going to make it read as eyes is if you just put the shine in the eyes. That's too small, but confirm that I will get the effect that I'm looking for. Brush tool, make it a little bigger. Cool. Let's see. Yeah, that actually looks pretty chill. He's gonna look a little like doofy, I think, but we'll make it work. It's kind of like some like 80s video game boss, I guess. Okay, and let's see what happens. Maybe we can... What I really imagined was layers. I imagined that I'd be able to get some like layers in here. So I'm gonna see... What if I just keep doing that? Does anything happen? So we get this like purple glow down here. It's kind of dope, honestly. Let's see. I'm really kind of torn on how I should play this. I'm gonna see what happens if I take a totally different color and throw it down. I'm gonna take this purple and I'm gonna throw it as a gradient from the top down up here and see what happens. Not a good call. I really like this glowing blue we have up here. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the picture. I would love to draw like two people back here, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it without looking stupid, but let's try it. Take the white. Perfect. Let's see. Maybe they're like robots. Maybe that's... I don't know. It's kind of lame though if the people are made of boxes, right? I think the cool part is that they're not like fully boxy. So I'm actually going to take that kind of woman that I drew. Oh man. In the first pick. too long. And see if I can maybe just like recreate her a little bit. No way, that's ridiculous. If I could just get that perfect swoop in. Yeah. Damn. I'm gonna try one more time. Let's see. Perfect. Get these lines in here. I'm not even gonna put a nose in. Can I get the, damn. See what kind of hair I can get going on for her. Oh, jeez. Let's see, we just come up, over. I really want that like elegant look, and I'm not getting it with the D-pad. Perhaps it was naive of me to think that I could. Ooh, yeah, nice. I will definitely take that. No. What we need is it to come down for her neck, and then out. And then, yeah, so she has some hair coming down in front. Doesn't matter. It's actually kind of a cool look. Maybe she's kind of like one of the main characters. But I don't want her to look... Normally, if I was drawing, actually, that kind of like super low shoulder looks pretty cool. But in this format, I don't want it to read as like a mistake. So I'm not going to do that. Come up and over here. I'm kind of open to that, actually. It looks pretty cool. The lower opacity gives us this thing of like, you can see where the lines overlap, so I don't know, it's not really giving us the most sophisticated look, but let's draw a guy over here and then maybe we'll wrap this up. Maybe that's how we'll end it. With like this evil face with this guy. Look at this guy's face going on over here. Ooh, no. Cool. I like that kind of like chunky style. Maybe the guys. Undo. Although it is interesting. I could use the gradient tool to fill in. I mean the bucket tool to fill in sections of the gradient. Let's see how that works. It's funny because the nature of the D-pad makes the art video game aesthetic. Which I guess sounds intuitive, but actually there's no real reason why it like needs to be that way. Cool. And then, you know what would be kind of dope is if we put them down here too. If we had those two people. I don't know if I'll be able to do it though. Oh shit. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. So I can use the paint bucket tool and just fill in sections of the gradient, because the way the paint bucket tool works is it has like a threshold for how similar the colors are when you drop it down. It's giving me like the difference. It sucks. Let's see, maybe I can just select this electric blue. No, it's not gonna give me the color I want. What if I make it white? What if I just make it straight up white? Let's see. That just gives me a brighter color. Alright. This looks pretty chill. I'm trying to think of other like illustrative elements I could like add here that give me a little bit more like depth. Because this will probably be the last image we make here right now. So let's see. Give them like hearts or something, or some kind of like ambiguous marker inside of them. It's kind of cool. I don't know, I would like to put some kind of like items down here. You know, I mean, if we're fully pushing like the video game aesthetic, we might as well like embrace it, right? So maybe I will just fully lean into the video game thing. I didn't really anticipate that, to be honest with you, but it's okay. Let's see what happens when I go down here. Yeah, so we'll make, what are two kind of like items we can put down here? I'm gonna put a key. It's one of my favorite like video game items. Yeah, perfect. I don't know, I have mixed feelings about resigning to the up and down fully cardinal directions thing. Oh, that looks kind of dope though, actually. And what's over here? I mean, if I put a sword, then it's like a little too video gamey. What's like an 80s item? 80s Video games, techno, tech, like a microchip, but you can't really draw a microchip. I could put like a lightning bolt. That's actually kind of a cool idea, but it's probably not really going to look like a lightning bolt. Oh shit. That's fine, I'll just draw it again. Cool. Man, I'm really torn. I really don't know what to put over here in this part of the picture. It would be cool to get something that's like breaking up the space, you know? Like if I was able to throw down like a palm tree, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a palm tree, but if I could throw down something here, maybe I could even get just like a pillar of light. That would be kind of cool. Let's see, maybe I can just make it like a pillar of light over here. I'm going to select the color. I'm going to select the color. White. We're going to come in. What's that look like? I lost the glow effect entirely. Didn't really anticipate that happening. It's still around though, right? Yeah, it'll glow if I put it on the black. If I had that back, I could do a lot. But it's not really working within the blue background, which is interesting. But it's fine. Kind of torn. What if I throw down more of a gradient? What if I throw down a white gradient down here at the bottom? What happens then? No, we're not doing that. Edit, undo. Let's see, try some different colors, I guess. Like what if I make it yellow with the gradient? That is actually kind of dope. And I think we're gonna roll with that. What if I do this? No. Too much. Okay. I'm just gonna put something over here and then we'll wrap this up. I'm gonna take this dark blue. And let's see. I could make it ambiguous. I could make it, I'm really kind of stuck over here. I'll make it another key, honestly. I guess that's kind of like a cop-out, but that actually kind of is the perfect thing that I was looking for. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to the, what was it, white or light blue? Is that the color I had? Let's see. No. I'm gonna grab this electric blue up here. I'm like kind of addicted to this right now because I'm kind of like, now that I'm finishing this picture, I'm like, oh, the next one I could make it really sick. But I guess I gotta figure out how to get around this like left and right D-pad thing. I mean, that's like really the problem. I made this key a little thinner, but you know, it's fine. Now let's see. I gotta get to the gradient, throw it down. That's not the color we had it as before. We had yellow. So yeah, this is a really interesting experiment. I'm not really sure how I can push this, honestly. I really want to. I think I might try one more right now, honestly. Oh, nice. We can get the yellow, dude. Yes. And then let's see. We can throw down the gradient. Yeah, I'll take this. Okay, we're calling this one done. I'll take it. And let's see. How much time? Well, it doesn't really matter how much time we have. I can do whatever we want. I think I'm going to try one more. I'm going to try one more thing right now. I'm not going to start with black. I'm actually going to start with just a nice blue. And I'm actually going to see just how much time has elapsed so far. Does it tell me? It doesn't matter. Who cares? Okay. I'm going to try one more thing right now. I have kind of an idea for how I can make this work. Let's see. Do I still have the blue glow? No, I don't. Perfect. And I think we're just gonna kind of try and go. I don't actually think the opacity thing was smart. It kind of is like working with like cheap paint. So I'm gonna turn that baby right back up. Yeah, here we go. And I think that I actually, after doing all that, have figured out that the move is more like Van Gogh style. We're just gonna go like chunky Van Gogh style. I'm gonna throw down some fat colors right here. Maybe even bigger than that. We gotta grab a few greens to get us going. yeah, I think that going full, like, well, actually that little weird stroke with the uptick at the end really changed the game. So I'm actually just gonna throw down these colors here. Let's see, maybe we can make it work like Impressionism style. Yeah, actually those 45-degree angle strokes, maybe just going full left and right with the D-pad is gonna give me that kind of, like, I keep saying this, it probably sounds stupid, but that like sophisticated look that I'm going for. Yeah. Yo, this is gonna be sick. Get a few big colors down here. And actually I should have been using big brushes the whole time because I want to build up the color, and then we're gonna work, it's actually a oil painting principle. It's called, actually it's not really the principle. I was gonna say it's called fat over lean, but it's actually not like fat over lean at all. We're just gonna work with big areas of color and then build up on top of it. And actually, if you've ever seen any like pointillism painting, like Seurat and Sunday in the Park, things like that, same artist, but people know the name of the painting. It's not actually technically pointillism. If you want to be like the most pretentious person in the entire planet, when someone's like, oh, pointillism, you can say, well, actually, it's not pointillism because it's actually large areas of color with points over it. Technically, pointillism would require it to be made up entirely only of points. So paintings like Sunday in the Park with George, oh, that's the name of the show. Paintings like Sunday in the Park, they're actually not pointillism. But it's okay. Okay, and here's what we're going to do. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to use a smaller brush now. And let's see what I can get going. I really don't like those strokes. Here we go, perfect. And I think we can get kind of like a weird, like digital impressionism-y vibe going on. Let's get it going. Let's see. I think the contrast between the brush strokes there is too large because I really want to have that like feeling where you're looking at like an impressionist painting and, you know, all the brush strokes kind of like blend together. So I think that contrast is too big, but obviously I'm going to figure this out as I go. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I'm getting okay with this right now. What I really would like is some way of like, there is a way of like blending the colors that you can do. I could obviously do it in Photoshop, but it's kind of a little bit harder. Actually, it looks pretty sick. So let's see, the horizontal is tight, but if I really want to get an interesting picture, I don't think I can have it be entirely only horizontal lines. So yeah, the brown. That's not really the brown I want. I'm going to go into the yellows and get kind of a more like yellowy brown. Yeah, we'll start with that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I can get that like liveliness with just the strokes, but maybe instead of complaining, I'll just try and do it and make it happen. Because, yeah, actually that looks pretty chill. And then maybe I can come in with some darker colors. And I think what I'll ultimately do is at the end, I will just, yeah, it looks pretty sick actually, come in and warm up the picture with a Photoshop slider, which I guess is kind of cheating because it's not really using the controller. I'll use the controller to do it. Yeah, this is pretty good actually. I don't like that last stroke actually. I'm going to come back in over here. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of block in some colors. I'm going to select this, and I can't tell if I kick into the yellow greens with this cool palette, if it'll look dope or if it'll make it look stupid. So I'm going to play it safe and just grab a really dark green and give us those larger strokes again. And that's definitely not anywhere near big enough. Let's see if I can just, I'm thinking of those Van Gogh paintings with like the cypress trees. I think this is, even if this picture doesn't end up being it, I think this is pretty obviously like the way to go. Something like this. Did we finally crack the code? Did we finally figure it out? I think we did. Because this is looking pretty chill. Gotta get the darkness in the tree though. Oh, dude, looks sick. Okay. And we'll just kind of throw down the strokes. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, yes. It might have been a little bit too much of a contrast, but I wanted to make a powerful move there. And I'll come back in with a little bit of like a medium color. Also look at the yellow in there. A lot of the dark browns are actually technically yellow in terms of the color, so that's good actually. That looks really good. I'm gonna come back up here, grab the green, and I'll get some of the greens that are like from the ground up in this tree. Kind of like start to marry it together. I don't know what I'm gonna put in the background. I'm actually looking outside right now the window, and maybe I'll just kind of take it there and do what's going on outside my own window. It's kind of tight. It's kind of tight. I think that this look is way better than anything that we got going on before. And what if I get some of these like light streaks coming up? Yeah. Now we're talking. Get your grandma, put this in her living room. She's gonna freaking love it. Okay, cool. Yeah, this looks really chill actually. I really like this look. Okay, cool. And then I think to just balance that out, I'm actually just gonna grab and get, yeah, there we go. That's kind of dope. Okay, what do we want in the background? Well, I mean, it suits the picture. It's also what's literally outside my window right now, but it does suit like the nature of what I'm doing and everything like that. So I'm gonna come into the green blues, just where you can't exactly tell if it's a green or it's a blue. And I think we're gonna drop a little house back here. Let's do that. We've fully come to 8-bit Bob Ross now. We're in 8-bit Bob Ross land. Put a little happy tree in. Is that a good house color? Yeah, actually I think it will be, but if it's not, we can just, and I want it to just line up right at the horizon. Perfect. Oh, perfect. Boom. And we'll make it kind of like a long, oddly long house. There actually is this like oddly long house right near where I live, and it's kind of cool actually. And just like the house outside my window, I'm going to give the roof color this kind of like, it's almost like a gray, blue, green. It kind of goes with the sky, and that'll give us a little room to, technically I should have put the trees behind it first. Oof, that's gray. You can't have gray in the painting like this. Nobody wants that. But this might be too dark, might be too saturated. Let's see. No, actually that's really good. It's perfect actually. I say this all the time on the painting show, but when you do a picture like this, a very serious work of art, obviously, the contrast, if you do something high contrast, that means that it's in the foreground. So if I made a really, really, really big contrast here, like these windows, I'm pushing it with the windows, but I think I can get away with it. But these windows, that's about as high contrast as you'd want to go. Frankly, I think it's actually a little bit too high contrast, but it's all good. And then I'm going to take this darkest color, boom, from over here. And I really should have done this first, but I didn't, so who cares? What are you going to do about it? And I'm going to kind of make it so there's this like tree, bush, foliage situation going on behind the house. I'll have to repaint in the roof of the house, but it's not a big deal. I think it'll give us a nice like little... They've done studies where like humans look at like landscapes and stuff, and you kind of have this like primal way of like reading into a landscape. And I think when you have these like verdant walls in the background, it makes you feel kind of like safe and like protected. It's my opinion, but let's see, let's put a little right over there too. Nice. So like I said, I'm gonna have to come back in. Oh shit. What I'm referring to is there's this study where they show, no psychological studies can be reproduced, but since you can intuit that this is true, it probably is true. They show humans these different landscapes, and the ones that, and then they're like, press a button, like which one do you prefer, A or B? Okay, which one do you prefer, B or C? And they kind of like study your preferences and stuff, and the ones people prefer the most tend to be the ones that would be best for like survival. Like the one people prefer the most has like a river, and there's hills protecting it, and there's a tree, it's a forked tree, so if a predator came, you could like hide in it. So we read into landscapes in kind of like a primal way. Okay, now here's the thing. I want to put kind of like a hill in the background. I should have painted this in reverse, like backwards coming forwards. There is a cool like Swedish folk painting technique where they paint on glass, and they paint the stuff in the foreground, and then they paint behind it, and then you flip the glass over, and then you're looking at it all on this glass pane. Kind of doing the opposite here because my paint stacks up in the other way, but it's not a big deal. So I need the perfect color for the hill because it kind of has to be like right in between the grass and the sky in the background, but yeah, that's actually pretty good. Just kind of like throw a little hill in the background over here. Could be a little darker. It's actually, it's the same exact color as the roof, and that sucks. So I'm going to make it more green. In real life, it would be more blue, but we can make it more green. Yeah, we'll accept that. Looks pretty good, actually. We'll have it bleeding into the bush, so it's like going behind the bush. And we will grab the color of the bush, and we'll just kind of push the bush back in front. Wow, that looks sick. It doesn't make any sense spatially, but that little interplay right there looks so good. I'm definitely going to leave it. We need a little bit more going on, so what I'm thinking is I'll grab this kind of hidden color there, and I'm honestly going to put in like some power lines. I know maybe that's a little bit sacrilegious if we have people viewing from certain places, but here in America, we have power lines running through the suburbs, giving us, see, it's too high contrast though, so we're just gonna get rid of that. This is a hard one because the line I'm trying to draw is brown, but it's against the blue sky, so what's between blue and orange? Nothing. Like, it's kind of hard to land in that space, like right between them. So let's see, how's this color? Same problem. We gotta go even less saturated than that, even more gray. We're just basically putting on straight up gray. Oh shit. Undo. It still looks a little orange because of how colors work. Let's see, maybe we can come back up. We can kind of do it the other way, like right here. Yeah, I think that's a good color for the power lines. Let's just let's see how it works out. We don't have to stick with it too much, but we'll put it over here. I guess I'm kind of reacting over on the left side to how it's like interfering with how the eye reads the tree. So maybe I should just respond directly to that, and we can kind of put it over here. Looks a lot better over here. Perfect. Come down, and then we'll get another one over here. We got a nice little suburban scene going on. Put the horizontals. I like painting in power lines like this because they're like discretely crosses. It's like I could throw down a big cross right in the middle of the image. No one would ever think of it that way. Owned. Once again, atheists. Hold this L. You are literally surrounded by giant crosses. Now here's a big question though. Can I get away with the totally horizontal power lines? Does it call too much attention to the horizontality of the picture? I don't know. I don't think it does, actually. Actually, I think it looks kind of dope. But maybe I'll just throw down a little extra one right there so people know it's like impressionistic. People know I'm not trying to paint like the straight up real power lines. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That looks dope. Okay, cool. And I think last thing in the sky, I'm going to throw down like a cloud. And I'm stoked we got to this point because the things we painted before were not really that cool. They were kind of cool. The process was cool, but this is actually looking pretty sick. So I'm going to throw down a little cloud. Is it too light? It's kind of too light. I don't want to draw too much attention to it. So we'll just come over here. Let's see how this looks. Ooh, nice. Yeah, just going to throw down the cloud. Cool, feeling that. And I kind of want one back here too. I'm kind of very pleased with how this is looking. And we want to push the tree forward, so I'm actually just going to make it like the cloud is poking out from behind the tree a little bit there. Wow, this looks sick. I mean, I could round out the windows. How's that going to look? Let's find out right now. I don't know how I feel about that move. I don't know. I really can't tell how I feel about it having done that. Did it make it look better or worse? I guess it made it look a little bit better. Let's keep it. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm kind of settling in. And what? I kind of feel like we need something over here, right? We need like something to balance out this picture. We have a nice little scene going on. I would like to honestly put like a rabbit in there. That's kind of my intuition. Because I could take this brown. I mean, of course, I would normally make it a white rabbit, but I don't think it'll be high contrast enough. Like, how's this brown look? That's pretty dope. Let's see. Let's see how that looks. So I'm going to edit undo. I can't zoom in, of course. I'm sticking with my guns here on the controls I've decided. And the nice thing about a rabbit as a picture element, I said this on the stream the other day, but pretty much you can get away with anything when you're drawing or painting a rabbit. If you just take a lump and put these like bunny ears on it, it'll look like a rabbit. It's fine. So I think we can get away with a lot here. So I am just going to kind of lean into that. I don't like how this looks like his mouth. I want it to be, yeah, there we go. That's perfect. And we'll come back a little bit. Maybe this wasn't a good idea. I don't know. Let's see. You never know. And we'll have him just sitting here in the suburbs with us. I think this was a good idea, actually. We'll give him a little shadow. We'll make it look not just like a lump of like logs or something. We'll give him some colors. I guess he's kind of unintentionally going to be like the focus of the picture. Give him a little tail. The tail can't just look like that, but it also can't be that big. Let's go back a little bit. Backtrack. Yeah. Okay, that is a tight start for the rabbit. We'll give him some lighter colors. I think that will lower the size for sure. Cool. We'll throw down some of these colors. Boom. Get some of the strokes in. This actually is a really cool aesthetic. I'm actually feeling the aesthetic. I didn't like that last line. I'm actually feeling the aesthetic that we got going on here. It's very like sleek. I think all the horizontal lines give it like a really cool sense of like movement, you know? And let's see, we got to put in an eye. Well, we actually don't have to. I actually probably won't put in an eye. I don't want it to make it like a character. I want it to be like a... I'm staying, as ridiculous as it sounds, because I'm painting this with a freaking 8-bit controller. I want to stay in like Impressionist painting land. And I think if I give him like the dot eye, it'll just fully take us into like cartoon world. And we're not there. I'm glad we're not there. Is that high contrast enough? Yeah, I think it is actually. Don't want to make it too high contrast. I think the subtle colors also give it some of that sophistication I was looking for. I'm really pleased with this. I'm going to roll with that too. I'm going to start rolling with the accents that are happening. Man, that looks a joke. Will people know it's a rabbit? I think they will. I will put a little dark nose on the rabbit, which maybe means that I will put down eyes, but let's see. The nose, I can't, that's way too much nose, bro. Way too much nose. Just a little click. Yeah, let's put down the eye, but in order to make it not look like a cartoon eye, we're gonna make it a little line like that. Yeah! Oh, he just came to life. It's really tight. And you know what? We're gonna keep moving into fully Impressionist world because I'm gonna put some flowers in here. I did not, I guess, you know, I said we were going to Van Gogh world. I guess Van Gogh paints flowers all the time. Yeah, I didn't see it coming, but that's what we're gonna do right now. And I don't want them to be like just dot flowers, even though that would be cool. So I'm just gonna kind of put them in. I don't like that one. Try and keep the motion going as we go in the back. I'm gonna take down the brush size. I think I'm gonna put down some straight yellow ones too, make it like, you can see it's very subtle, but even just having the smaller ones in the background and the bigger ones in the front gives us that sense of like space. Even just that one little variation, it's kind of tight. This looks like the setting for like a really cool game. Okay. And let's see, how much can we push the yellow? Do I want to just put some straight yellow in? I mean, that's super Van Gogh, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And we have nothing in the middle. And I might even put like a little moon in the sky. I think that might just fully cement where we're trying to land at. And I'm leaving the streaks. I think it kind of is a good look because your eye's kind of like, oh, I thought it was a flower, but there's that streak there, but I think it's a good look. It kind of like, I don't know, when you do a painting, you kind of want the whole painting to like speak as with one voice. And I think you don't want the disparate elements to be like not harmonized. Maybe too much, maybe just enough. I feel like that's it. I feel like I need one more dot over here. Yeah, cool. Part of me wants to put some berries on these bushes, but they're so far in the back and berries are red. I don't want to start that madness. Actually, but you know what I can do? See, I'm getting away with this because I said it was like Van Gogh style. Ooh, orange. I was going to use pink, but it's not a very impressionist color. We can suggest that this nice house owner back over here has put in some like tulips or something. Too small. Not impressionist style. There's no door on the house, but maybe we're in the backyard. I'm not going to put that shit in. Yeah, that's tight. Looks good. Put one more in over there. We can put some in front of the house. Maybe she's planted them or something, you know. We don't know. It's perfect. It's fucking perfect. Okay. I'm painting tulips. I'm like, yeah, these tulips are sick. All right, cool. And yeah, I think I am just going to put in I want to see if I can get away with putting in like the moon in the sky. I don't know if Van Gogh has any paintings like that, but I think that's a good look. Let's see. I would probably put it, you know, I could be like really sick and just put it right here. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Okay, we're definitely done with that. That looks sick, man. Cool. All right, I'm definitely going to call it right there. That was really fun. That was really awesome. Cool. So I think I got pretty good. I wanted to make it so we landed on something cool with just the controller. So I feel really good about that. It's interesting because yeah, my intuition initially was going to be drawing with it. Obviously, you just watched the whole video, but my intuition was that drawing was going to be the way to go, but that was kind of whack actually. And I wanted to kind of push beyond like the obvious. I wanted to look not so obvious, you know what I mean? Like if you look at like something that's drawn like that, like the woman we started with, it's like, oh yeah, I drew this with a controller. Like, all right, cool. The gradient leaning into the Photoshop thing actually was not the move. I thought that would be the move, but it really wasn't. Kind of felt like too caged in by it. But I think this is the way to go actually, like kind of unintuitively. Maybe that's why it looks kind of cool in my opinion. Unintuitively using like the fat chunks and like putting in like boom, boom, down, left, right, up, down, up, left, 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 instead of trying to make those fine lines. So yeah, and this looks really tight. So I'm probably going to try this again, but that's the video for sure. Maybe I'll see how far I can push it with this little thing, but for now I feel like I accomplished what I was seeking after, making some art with a Super Nintendo controller. So thank you for watching this. Thanks for tuning in to the not live Underground Studio tapes session 1, and I guess I will catch you again very soon. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the internet where we all hang out. See you later.